Imagine this. You're at work, and your manager suggests a small favor that turns into an extra shift every week. You didn't initially agree, but somehow, by the end of the conversation, you've said yes. Later, you wonder, why did I comply so easily? Or picture scrolling through social media. A post catches your eye, and you feel compelled to click, comment, or even purchase something you hadn't planned on. That feeling of compulsion, it's your brain responding to subtle influence cues. Even in relationships, influence is constant. A partner might repeatedly insist you change your routine or feel guilty for small mistakes. These patterns are not accidents. They are rooted in human psychology and neuroscience. Research indicates that subtle manipulation is extremely common. According to studies on interpersonal relationships, over 50% of adults report experiencing some form of emotional manipulation in their lifetime, often without recognizing it at the time. Workplace studies suggest that manipulative tactics, from guilt-tripping to subtle authority pressure, occur in up to 70% of hierarchical settings. Before we dive in, ask yourself, in what areas of your life do you feel subtly influenced without noticing? Keep that in mind as we explore the science behind these patterns. Part 1. The Neuroscience of Influence. Manipulation begins in the brain. The amygdala is our emotional alarm system. Joseph LeDoux shows that the amygdala responds within milliseconds to perceived threats or rewards. Manipulators exploit this by triggering emotional responses, often faster than rational thought can intervene. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function, is crucial for rational decision-making. However, when stressed, fatigued, or emotionally aroused, the prefrontal cortex is less effective. This explains why late-night arguments, high-stakes decisions, or emotionally charged situations make us more vulnerable to influence. Mirror neurons create automatic empathy. Experiments by Rizzolatti and Sinigaglia demonstrated that observing someone else's behavior activates the same neurons in our brains as performing the action ourselves. This automatic mirroring builds trust, which manipulators exploit in personal, workplace, or online interactions. Hormones also play a role. Oxytocin increases trust and compliance with friendly figures. Dopamine reinforces behavior that aligns with social cues. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can also heighten emotional reactivity, making it easier for someone to hijack your decision-making when you're under pressure. For example, a salesperson who smiles warmly while using subtle social proof triggers both mirror neuron empathy and oxytocin-mediated trust, increasing the likelihood you will buy something. Influencers online use similar mechanisms. Repetition, emotional cues, and social proof activate these same neural circuits. Reflect for a moment. Think about a recent situation where someone's tone, gesture, or body language influenced your decision. That was your brain responding before your conscious mind could intervene. Part 2. Behavioral Psychology and Classic Experiments. Robert Cialdini's 6 Principles of Influence, reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority, liking, and scarcity, illustrate how humans are predictably influenced. Each principle is backed by decades of research. Kahneman's thinking, fast and slow, explains that our brain operates with System 1, fast, emotional, and System 2, slow, rational. Manipulators target System 1, exploiting automatic reactions that bypass rational evaluation. Several classic studies illustrate our vulnerability. Asch conformity experiments, 1951. Participants were asked to match line lengths in a group. Even when the group was clearly wrong, 75% of participants conformed at least once, showing the power of peer pressure. Milgram obedience study, 1963. Participants were instructed to administer electric shocks to another person. 65% complied up to the maximum voltage, demonstrating how authority can override moral judgment. Stanford Prison Experiment, Zimbardo, 1971. Ordinary students adopted abusive roles when given situational power, revealing how environments can manipulate behavior. Modern life is full of these dynamics. Social media algorithms exploit conformity and reward pathways, encouraging likes, shares, and engagement. In the workplace, small requests and incremental compliance leverage the same psychological principles as Milgram's experiments. Reflective question. Can you identify moments where social pressure or authority influenced your choices without conscious awareness? Part 3. Advanced dark psychology. Manipulators often use advanced techniques. Neurolinguistic programming, NLP. Techniques like anchoring, reframing, and embedded commands manipulate perception. For instance, pairing a positive word with a suggestion can unconsciously increase compliance. Emotional hijacking. The limbic system dominates during high arousal, making us more reactive. Manipulators exploit anger, fear, or excitement to bypass rational thought. Marketing and politics. Framing effects, repetition, and scarcity influence decisions without awareness. A product advertised as limited edition activates scarcity heuristics, increasing the desire to buy. Social media manipulation. Algorithms exploit reward pathways, repetition, and social proof to influence behavior. Viral challenges, political propaganda, and influencer marketing use these mechanisms daily. Real-world examples of this. Cult recruitment often combines repetition, authority figures, emotional arousal, and social isolation to manipulate members. Does this remind you of a certain political group in the United States? Viral marketing campaigns exploit dopamine-driven reward loops to maximize engagement. Reflect. Think about one message, ad, or social media post that made you act automatically. How did it make you feel, and why did it succeed? Part 4. Research-based defense strategies. You are not powerless. Research shows several strategies protect against manipulation. 1. Awareness and labeling. Identifying manipulation activates the prefrontal cortex, reducing automatic compliance. Naming the tactic as it occurs is powerful. 2. Mindfulness. Tang et al. Found that mindfulness strengthens self-regulation and emotional control. Pausing to notice your emotional state allows conscious choice over automatic reactions. 3. Cognitive reframing. Beck shows that reframing negative or guilt-inducing messages reduces emotional hijacking. Example: when guilt-tripped into working extra, mentally reframe. I choose my actions consciously, not because of manipulation. 4. Boundary setting and assertiveness. Rosenfeld et al. Demonstrate that clear boundaries reduce compliance pressure. Example: telling a colleague, I cannot take this task now, but I can assist later, prevents overcommitment. 5. Metacognition and reflection. Flavel emphasizes monitoring your own thought processes to detect bias and influence. Journaling daily about decisions can reveal subtle patterns of manipulation. 6. Social support and feedback. Festinger shows that consulting trusted friends or mentors exposes manipulative patterns. A second opinion can prevent cognitive biases from leading to poor choices. Practice exercise. Identify one attempt at influence today. Pause, label the tactic, and apply one defense strategy. Observe how your response changes. Conclusion and call to action. Manipulation is not mysterious. It is grounded in science. Your brain, your nervous system, and your social instincts make you susceptible, but awareness, research-backed defenses, and conscious reflection restore your agency. Ask yourself, which manipulation tactics do you encounter most often, and which defense strategy will you apply first? Comment below. Sharing your experience may help someone else regain clarity and control. Understanding influence gives you the power to respond consciously instead of reacting unconsciously. Your brain is your greatest tool. Learning how it works is the first step toward true empowerment.